served 6 years in the Army as a human intelligence collector. I currently work in a restaurant and attend school full-time with a major in journalism. Tip share. What is my reply supposed to be when someone says, "Thank you for your service"? I've come to just say thank you because I feel it's politer than just saying, "Yep." But really, what's the point? Most people have no idea what it means to serve and have no family members that have ever served. That's fine. I'm sure your life is full of its own stress and hard times. And quite honestly, I volunteered to go to war. I wasn't drafted and I didn't have to do it. Does that make my service more or less impressive? Well, it makes the younger version of me seem pretty naive. Maybe I was duped. I think I was just too lazy to get decent grades and go to college. So if you're going to thank me for my service, make sure you thank the kitchen staff next time you eat out at a restaurant. Thank the maid who tidies your hotel room, and thank the UPS driver that drops off your Amazon package. Lest you be labeled as a hypocrite. I don't want to be treated like a member of a special interest group. Veterans are people. They signed up for a tough job, but they knew, or should have known, what they were doing when they signed the dotted line. Everyone has worked a tough job, and yes, I know I hardly talk about my service, but you never ask. Do you expect me to spontaneously regurgitate it? I haven't heard you tell stories about what department store you worked in when you were in your early 20s. Veterans are not a shambling mound of fumbling psychopaths and drug addicts bent on squeezing every dime from the government. Some just want help. Do you know I was told by my psychiatrist that if I attended too much treatment, my benefits may be reduced? First of all, I don't declare benefits from PTSD, and secondly, what kind of administration penalizes its patients for helping themselves too much? Look, deployments are tough, and unless you spent your time in a bubble or you are a sociopath, you're going to come back with some form of PTSD. Now, PTSD is curable, either through treatment or just naturally. To say every adult has or has had some form of PTSD is not a stretch either. PTSD doesn't mean you dive under tables when a pen drops or you tackle every guy you see in a man dress. Now, the culture of the military does make it tough to come out when something is wrong with you. If you want proof, sit down with the most ostracized class of soldiers, sick call rangers, malingerers. But who came up with the idea that PTSD meant something is wrong with you? If everyone goes through trauma at some point in their life, isn't PTSD just part of being a person? So, why do we have to fly banners and claim we are fixing people when they were never broken? And why should a soldier feel bad about dealing with being a person and having feelings? It's really a public image that drives most of this vision and culture. You may not know this, but everyone in the military is also a person. And before, during, and after their service, they are also an American, just like you. Service members are not some alien race with their own culture and language. They just have additional culture and additional languages. Okay, let me tell you how it went for me. When I got back from Iraq, I was referred to this doctor and told I could go to the VA and talk to somebody if I wanted to. Well, that was fun when I got to the doctor and was told the VA wouldn't cover my physical therapy. But I digress. Ultimately, I didn't seek therapies when I should have. Coming back from a third world where large pieces of metal containing smaller pieces of metal are flung at you and may or may not explode over your head can be fairly traumatic. It can most definitely be hard to relate to civilians and the civilian world after a year of that. It might make sense to need a few drinks to loosen up in a social situation and relieve your anxiety a little. Quite honestly, isn't it expected that a 20-something-year-old would be hanging out at the bar at a Friday night or watching the hockey game with his bros on a Saturday night? And if you have a designated driver, even better. What about that one time you don't have a DD, your house is right up the road, and a couple of friends want to come over? Well, that happened to me. So no, doctor, I'm not claiming PTSD because PTSD is a result of my own bad choices. The Army didn't make me do it.